So hello everyone, I'm Yogesh Mishra. In the last video we covered signal forms, how to build forms with almost zero boilerplate. Today we are going to attack another daily pain point, which is data fetching. So most Angular app still looks like we have to call http.get, manually create this loading signal, manually create error signal, subscribe. Then we need to make sure we do not forget to unsubscribe. For every single API call, Angular 22 gave us a much better way, which is http resource. It gives you value, is loading, error, all as reactive signals, and it automatically refetches when your input change. No subscribe, no flags, no unsubscribe. Let's understand it properly. So here's the complete roadmap for this video. The old pain was that why the classic pattern is painful. First, http resource, the 4-line version, core signals, values, loading, error, reload, etc. Reactive URL, the real superpower, auto-refresh, params and headers, search, pagination, auth, mutations, how to handle post put cleanly, 6 real use cases, profile search, dashboard, dependent calls from a prefill refresh, and then best practices, how to do and what to avoid. By end of the video you will feel confident using http resource in real projects. So this is the old way. Let's first look at the pattern most of us still write. This is 15 to 20 lines for one API call. Problems is clearly visible. You have to remember 3 signals every time. You must handle loading and error yourself. You must unsubscribe or use take until destroyed. If the ID changes later, you have to manually call the API again. This code gets copy pasted in almost every component. In a real dashboard, you might have 8 to 10 such calls. The boilerplate multiplies very fast. This is exactly the problem http resource was designed to solve. Now look at the new way. That's the entire data fetching logic, and that in the template you can see what just happened here. http resource create a reactive resource. It automatically tracks the signals used inside the URL function. It exposes value, is loading, and error as signals. You no longer manage any of that state yourself. This is the biggest mental shift. You describe what you want, not how to fetch and manage it. Core signals. Let's understand the main signals you get from every resource. Value, which is the actual data or undefined while loading, is loading true while the request is in flight. Error, the error if the request failed. Status, which has 4 options: idle, loading, resolved, and error. Reload, manually trigger a fresh request, has value. Convenient boolean, true when data is present. In most templates you only need 3: if is loading, else if resource error, else if resource value as data. This pattern becomes muscle memory very quickly. Reactive URL, this is the real superpower of http resource. The first argument is a function, not a static string. What happens here? Angular tracks every single you read inside this function. When user ID changes, resource automatically refetches. When include post changes, resource automatically refetches. You don't write any effect. You don't call reload manually for these cases. This is why http resource feels so clean so far. Route params, search boxes, filters, toggle switches that change the query. Params and headers. Sometimes you need more than just a URL. Query parameters and headers. You can return either a simple string URL or a full request configuration object. Both styles are fully reactive. If search or page or token changes, the request is recreated and sent again. This is perfect for search, pagination, authenticated APIs. Important clarification on mutations. http resource is mainly for reading data, get. For writing data, post, put, delete, you still use HTTP client. This is the important clarification here. HTTP resource is mainly for reading data, right? The clean modern way look like this as visible in the screen. Why the separation is good? So ready stay declarative with HTTP resource, writes stay explicit with async await. After a successful write, users call reload on the related resource. This keeps the mental model simple. Now let's come to the use cases. The first one, user profile. Most common use cases are profile based, driven by a root param. Why this is so powerful? When the user navigates from user 1 to user 2, the resource automatically refreshes. Loading and error states are handled consistently. Very little code for a full page. Second use case is product list and search. And and live search and pagination is where HTTP resource shines. So what the user experiences in that case, types in the search box, results update automatically, clicks next page, new page loads automatically, no manual search button needed unless you want one. This pattern replaces a lot of old combine letters and switch map code. So use case number 3 and 4. So we have two use case. One is dashboard independent resource and dependent request. So in dashboard independent resources, as you can see, both requests fire in parallel. Each has its own loading and error state, perfect for dashboard widgets. Dependent requests, in this we have sometimes the second call needs data from the first one. So if you written undefined, the request is skipped. This is the clean way to express only fetch orders after we have the user. Use case 5 and 6, prefill a signal form from API. When the resource resolves, the form fields get the latest values. Beautiful combination of HTTP resource and signal forms. And the other use case is manual refresh button. In this, sometimes the user wants to force a refresh after an action or just to get latest data. Reload is the official way. So best practices, you can read all the best practices. Quick recap. So let's summarize what you can use today. Value is loading error, all reactive. Reactive URL function, automatic refresh, full support for params and headers. Reload for manual refresh, dependent requests by returning undefined, excellent pairing with signal forms. This is one of the biggest quality of life improvement in modern Angular.